We are so busy prioritizing strength, building a bubble butt, losing weight in cardio. We just skip stretching altogether. And here's the thing. As we age, we will slowly lose our flexibility, and this can start as early as in our 20s and will continue to decrease as we get older and older, unless we do something about this. It's basically use it or lose it. And you see, I aspire to become an old woman one day who can bend down and tie her shoes and be able to look at the mirror and say, Monica, you aged well. So our challenge this time is to work on our hamstring flexibility for the next 28 days. Operation Flexible Hamstrings, challenge accepted. Let's do this. We need to have a way to measure progress. So we're going to do 3 tests, and all of them have to be repeatable. The first is the stand and reach test. And things to take note of: do this barefoot, keep your hands and feet together, and perform each movement 3 times, recording the results of the third. Here, we get 1.5 centimeters past my toes. This gives me an average rating. Second test is the V-sit and reach test. To start, put the heels of your feet on both ends of the baseline, and with your legs straight and hands together, fold forward and reach out. My results, 16.5 inches. This puts me at below average. The third test is the straight leg raise test, where we lie on our back and bring one leg upwards towards the roof, followed by the other, supposedly keeping the knees straight. But clearly it's not ready to do that just yet. So now that we've got our starting point, it's time to see how much we can improve in 28 days. I will be stretching every day for 5 to 10 minutes. We have 3 stretches that we will alternate across the week from Monday to Saturday. Then on Sunday, it will be a mobility day. We will be performing the movement for 3 to 4 sets, holding for 30 seconds and resting for 60 seconds after each set. And right before we do any of our stretches, let's make sure we get properly warmed up. This helps us avoid getting injured, because who wants that? This is why I'm doing my daily stretching right after my resistance training sessions, as I'll be properly warmed up. And on the days I don't lift, I'll be doing 5 minutes of skipping or any other form of cardiovascular movements will do. And just a little thing. I'm bringing this up because the idea going on that if you lift, you're gonna become stiffer. If you do resistance training, even on its own, can increase your range of motion and improve flexibility. So if you want an even better result, and I know we're all here for that, combining a dedicated stretching routine together with resistance training can give you that. Now for our stretches. First, we have the standing hamstring stretch. Here, we're gonna focus on getting as tall as possible and keeping our back neutral, reaching our hand out until we feel our hamstrings. For our second stretch, we have the banded PNF hamstring stretch. I really like this stretch because lying on my back keeps my spine in neutral position. So instead of focusing on not rounding my spine, I can now focus on feeling the stretch on my hamstrings. The third exercise is the standing forward fold. I'm starting this practice using a chair as support. I'm using the high height it gives to practice keeping my back straight, bending my knees as much as I need, and then I am gonna slowly work my way down. It has only been 8 days, you guys. 8 days. And this is why I am so glad I started. And you know what? 4 weeks from now, I can't even imagine what will happen. That's quite exciting. That's really exciting. So far in this video, I have shared 3 hamstring stretches that are easy to do and give you great results. So if you got to this point, make sure to comment below. I am ready to dedicate 5 to 10 minutes a day. So I know that you will be trying this out, which is exciting because now you and I will have our hamstring flexibility unfold together. On Sundays, this will be the routine I will be doing, as I do have a little bit more time to dedicate to our flexibility training. We are going to start with some self-myofascial release on our foot, calves, and hamstrings. We're doing this because we have tissue that runs from under our foot, up the back of our leg, across across our pelvis and up your back and neck. So just by that, you can see how connected our body really is. So by loosening up the fascia, since they're connected, we're increasing the movement potential of our body. I know this looks funny, like your butt is really itchy or something, but it does help. Or you can also do this instead. Place the ball under the hamstrings and gently extend the leg, moving it back and forth. We'll then do some spinal mobility work, as rounding my back has been one of the biggest issues for me. The plan is to spend more time on movements where I can practice lengthening my spine while still getting that daily hamstring stretch. Here is an overview of what I do for mobility days. Over the course of 4 weeks, here is the progress for my downward facing dog. First week, I desperately wanted to straighten my legs. That came at the expense of my lower back excessively rounding. Just look at that hump. On the second week, I focused on lengthening my back more, even if that meant bending my knees. On the third week, I was able to straighten my legs a little bit more. And on the fourth week, that was my best one. 4 weeks flew by really fast, and a lot has changed for 5 minutes of stretching a day. Start now and get results sooner. Let's go see how this carries over to our tests. My flexibility has changed quite a bit that I actually need a second box now. Let's try that again. From 1.5 centimeters to 17 centimeters past my toes, I went from average to good. Second test, I started below average and leveled up to good. That's 3 levels up in 28 days. We're on to our next test. Make sure to keep watching because I'll be sharing my top tips in increasing your hamstring flexibility throughout. Like, there's just no way I would have gotten this much results without those. For the third test, I now have more range and I'm able to extend my legs straight up. This means I can happily announce that this was a success. All tests had great improvements. Here's what I've learned during this challenge that I would like to pass down for the success of your own journey. First, it's all about the frequency. Somehow, stretching just works so well when you spread it across the week instead of doing a single session. And this is why you see that I did daily stretches. I broke it down into bite-sized chunks, and it doesn't even have to be every single day. The goal was for you to reach at least 5 minutes of stretching the entire week. Then it's up to you. It could be 4 days, it could be 5 days, but it's all about the frequency. Next, is it really your hamstrings? There might be other body parts that you might want to consider. Maybe your calves are tight, the muscle around your hip, your lower back. For example, look at my back when I did the day 1 forward fold test and when I performed the downward facing dog. My back was pretty rounded and I put my spine at so much risk over there. So please skip this part. And this is why, together with my hamstring stretches, I added a mobility day to tackle the bigger picture. So just consider that it might not just be your hamstrings. For 5 to 10 minutes a day for 28 days, I would say that this challenge is a success. I hope your result is going to be 100-fold in this. Make sure to hit that subscribe button right over here because 2 challenges is coming your way. If you want to stay tuned, you know what to do.